Can you guys hear me? Oh, good. Let me see how many people are on. I see Saori's on. I see Mattia. I see Ozzy. Then we have everybody. Okay, I wanted to show you a couple of things. First of all, this is, let me show you something. We're gonna, what's the airport in, an airport in Turkey? Istanbul. Istanbul, Park, is that IST? No, but is there a name? Let me see. No, sorry, what am I doing? Istanbul. Okay, I have these airports here. Is this Istanbul Fen? That must be the main airport, right? So let's use this one, and we're gonna put these aircraft on the runway for a moment, and we're gonna do it during the day. And look, I'm gonna show you something. This is for Ozzy. I don't know, they put it here. Anyway.
Azarfin Tower, Boeing November 659er16, ready for departing straight out at runway 23.
Okay, we're gonna just walk out of this aircraft for a moment. If I can do that. I just have to start, I think. Okay, and now I can do it. There it is. How's that, Ozzy? So this is a 737-800 of the Turkish Airlines, and yeah, and I wanted to show you inside. I mean, I'm still learning how to use this aircraft, so we're not going to use this one today. But this is how the cockpit looks like. So you can see the complexity of the cockpit. You know, this is obviously, it's a very complex aircraft, and I can take off, I can land, but I struggle with the instruments. So, but it's interesting because so this aircraft. Sorry, I have to do this. You can actually walk around. You can see we have no passenger on board yet. But you can basically walk around the aircraft, and you can go to the back, and you can even, you know, close the windows here, you know, and do a lot of stuff. I'm not close enough. Closer. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. So it's this is 73. What is that? I heard that they have a cool cable. All right. So, but I also have another one. It basically is changing deliveries, right? So it's a freighter. And is actually, I wanted to show you this. So this is, as you can see, a DHL aircraft. Is sitting in Malpensa Airport. Has been loaded already. Has cargo already inside containers. We can go and take a look the other side. Let's have a look. It's a 737-800. See more of the aircraft. I think it's pretty cool. It's just that there is no, main deck door, right? Freighter. Full cargo. Inside the cockpit is the same. This is the GPU. It's not the GPU. It's basically what creates. Let me see the doors. I don't see any cargo doors though. See, I see that the lower deck. Did I miss it? I don't see the upper deck where they loaded the ULDs, the big ULDs, right? So there is a mistake. But then usually you can actually walk around the aircraft. It's pretty cool. This is for lower deck. So anyway, I can actually let me close it. So this one is the aircraft that we had before. So this, you can walk into the cockpit, and that's how the cockpit looks like. But it's pretty cool to fly it. It's really amazing. There's a lot of automation in here. It just takes a long time to prepare these aircraft. But to give you an idea, this is the altitude instrument. Basically, this is all the autopilot to control all the headings, the altitude, the speed, the altitude, everything. These are all maps, controls, the instruments, and the engine, the GPS. This is the computer on board. This is where you enter all the information, you create your route, and then the computer or the aircraft then follows the route. When you start the aircraft, you actually start from here. You control the batteries here, you control all the lights, and so on. Everything that actually to start it, you really start from here. This part here, this is obviously is the throttle, and this is the speed brake, parking brake, the APU. The APU is at the back of the aircraft you saw before. There is like a third engine that's called APU, and the APU generates power for the aircraft to start the engine. It's like a small engine that creates energy to start the aircraft itself. And then of course the engine creates their own. These are radios, where you control the radio, you can insert the ILS and so on. So you have, and these are all how do you call it, the fuses. So if something happened, you have to make sure that all the fuses are in. Otherwise, for example, I don't know if you can control them on these aircraft, but when they pop out, you have to put them back in. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like you can control them. On the other aircraft, you can. Anyway, that's a 737, Boeing 737. Of course, you have, the tablet. You download all the information. You control for example, the ground operation. You can control it from here. Let me see. Where is the? Oh, you have to get used to. This is the ground maintenance. This is you can close the door, open the door, but I wanted to get the stairs. Let's see, there are no stairs, so I can call the stairs. Should be able to call the stairs. And somebody's gonna bring the stairs, I guess. Maybe. But yeah, if it's an old airport, it looks like the runway is not even a big runway. So we're sitting in the wrong airport here. It's a very small airport, very small runway. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pause this one for the moment. And I'm gonna end the flight here. How do you guys hear me? I changed my microphone. Is that better than last time? Let me know if you hear better. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. The other one was too deep. This one is much better. This is a sure, a little bit more expensive, but yeah, worth it. So Morocco, we're gonna fly from Madeira to Morocco. In Italian, you spell it MA. I see in English is O. So for people that don't know geography very well, Morocco is here. Is north part of Africa, near the Western Sahara. This is the Gibraltar Strait, Stretto di Gibraltar, I call it. This is the Mediterranean Sea, right? You're obviously familiar with the Mediterranean Sea. Spain and Portugal, obviously the Gibraltar Strait is part of Spain and Morocco, right? So we have Algeria, Tunisia, nearby Morocco. Recently, there were a lot of people try to escape to Spain from Morocco. There were like a few thousand people went through the street, and they thought that they could move into Spain and emigrate there, and they sent them back. So life maybe not be that great in Morocco, right? But so Turkey is here. This is Istanbul. So I know that we may not be able to fly to Turkey in one flight only. I have to check if we have enough distance. With the 737 we can, but I don't know how to use it yet. I have to learn. There is hundreds of pages of manual to go through, but with the jet, with Embraer, yes. But we may have to do a different route. Like, for example, we may decide to go to Spain, like Barcelona, then go to Rome, and then go to Athens and Istanbul, or maybe from Rome to Istanbul. Most likely is possible, yes. A direct flight to Istanbul, and then you guys can decide if you want to do this or not. Okay, so I want to show you a little bit about Casablanca, and then so Casablanca, you see here. So this is Casablanca. So we saw from the map of Morocco, Casablanca is here, right? So it's around here, Casablanca. So the airport is obviously the Casablanca airport. We will land there. Then we'll take a Cessna 172. We fly over Casablanca. I can tell you it's not like seeing Rome or Florence or, it's a little bit of uninteresting city to me. Yes, they have a few buildings. They have a nice port. They have a huge mosque. But I really don't see much. But anyway, so it's going to be a short tour. So Casablanca, it looks like this. I know this is the port of Casablanca once we get there. And here is a huge mosque. As you can see, the Hassan II Mosque. And the city is this one. There is not much around. This is the airport where we are going to land, up here. And then we're just going to fly here. It's a very short flight with a Cessna. We just fly over, but it's a big difference between a nice city that is really covered well by the flight simulator. In Casablanca, most likely didn't spend too much time because it's rather flat. So I don't want to disappoint you, but it is what it is. So this is the port. As you can see, container terminal. There are a few ships there. And yeah, this is the big mosque here. There is a beach, a very nice beach. I think it's this one, or maybe down there, the beach. There are, this is like a park here, you know, and then the airport is up there. So anyway, any question about Casablanca? Right, so I don't know how much delay we have. Gonna close, gonna go back, right? So, okay, we need to change the aircraft. As you can see, we have a DHL aircraft, we have a Turkish airline aircraft, but our aircraft we're going to use is the same as the other one we did before. Yes, you can fly all these aircraft, jets, or, you know, I just don't like flying, you know, one of those military jets. Don't see anything. So this is the one. You can also learn how to fly helicopters. There is like a training here. All right. So before, we're going to put the aircraft on Madeira. Let me see if it's still here. No. Okay, so Madeira. Now, in the meantime, you guys need to think what type of weather you want to have and whether you want to see it at night, during the day, evening, what time in the evening, what time in the morning. In the meantime, that I'm going to put this one on Madeira. Gate number, I think I landed in number 16 before, so... Sunrise takeoff. Okay. Second that motion. It's preparing. Obviously, it's night. Let's see, it's night, so we're gonna change the time. See my mouse, there it is, my mouse. All right, so we are going to do, let's see, 5:58. Let's see how it looks like. This is 5:58, is that good? And maybe we do 15 minutes earlier because it will take a little bit of time to prepare the aircraft. So this is 5:45, sorry, 6:45 in the morning. 5:45 is UTC. So UTC is the UK. So let's do maybe 6:30. 6:30. You can always change afterwards. 6:39, 6:40. Okay. And what type of weather? Clear skies. Do you want to have a few clouds, scattered clouds, broken clouds, high-level clouds, overcast, rain? Forget about the snow, light thunderstorm, or whatever you prefer. Scattered clouds, okay. Right, so you can see some clouds up there already, and we're just gonna leave the clouds at different levels. This one is at 1,500 feet. We started to see scattered clouds. This is the ceiling, and then it will be clear over 7,000 feet, and then we have a second layer from 13,000 feet to 17,000 feet. Okay, so we agreed on the time. The aircraft is here, and I think at this point we can step into the aircraft. And we are in the cockpit. But before we do that, we need to prepare the route. So that means we need to open sim brief and look at the route. Okay, so I prepared a route already. If you want, we can do it again. Let me show you the route on Navigraph so you have a better understanding how we're going to move. And we probably have to redo it. We have to change the time anyway because we're separate. So they may change the runways. We probably have to redo it. But this is Madeira, as you can see. Right, so these are all the waypoints across the Atlantic Ocean, at least this part of the Atlantic Ocean. This is basically our highway until we get to this part. And then this part is called arrival. And then the arrival drives us close to the airport. And then we need to select an approach. And the approach is the one that will guide us straight into the runway. The approach can be an instrumentation landing, can also be done manually. I like instrument. It's easier, but yesterday I was testing the 737 and I couldn't figure out how to put the ILS, so I actually landed in a small airport, the 737, without any issue. But I had to do 2 or 3 attempts anyway. So this is north, and our departure is it's going to be straightforward. Is this departure, the Embraer departure? So most likely we will depart from runway 05. If you remember correctly, this one means that we are moving at 5 degrees. Sorry, 50 degrees. You can see 50 degrees, 90 degrees is this one, so will be 09. 18 will be south. 27 will be 270, and highway 36 means 336.
Mattia Ozzy.
Mattia, Ozzy, and Saori.
Ah, c'è anche la Saori.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Mattia, Ozzy, and Saori. Okay. All right. So we are going to redo the route again. Okay, we're going to do the route again because we changed the time, and we need to tell them, actually we're going to edit the flight. We're going to tell them that we are going to leave, is a 22nd, yes, and we're going to leave at 6, let's say 7 a.m. Apply, yes. Moment 1, would like to automatically select new highways and internet, yes. Let's see. So they giving us departure runway 23, so they changed the runway on us. It's now 23, it's not anymore 5. Okay, and runway 35R is the landing. So I'm gonna try to reproduce that on Navigraph. So it's 23 and 35R. 23. So I'm gonna change the runway here, 23. Which shows not in use, but you know, somehow they give us 23 for some reason. So I mean, I can ask for a different one, I think. Let me change it. Let me change it to 5. Yes, 5. And arrival 35R. So let me see, this one was runway 5, I think. No, we're gonna change it to 5. And we're gonna choose the departure. I think we liked the Deguier, this one. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same on here, because this is the one that the aircraft will download the route. So I'm gonna show the options here, the runway 5, and I'm gonna use this departure. And for the arrival, they're asking us for runway 35R. So 35R. This one is left. Let me see if it is available, the right. Otherwise I have to change. 35R is available. I'm going to use the 35R. And the arrival, I'm going to use this arrival here. So this is the airport. So I'm going to use this arrival. So it connects, and then the approach. So this one is Ravo 1A. This one. And then the approach. Okay, so I'm gonna select it here. Ravo 1A. Okay. And they give us 40,000 feet. Calculate. Okay, we should have what we selected here. And then we're gonna add the approach afterwards. So generate a flight. Okay, this is our flight. The flight plan is ready. This is our route here. And PMA is Madeira, runway 05. This is all the various waypoints. This is direct. It's like one piece of highway to the next point. Again, direct to the next point. And then we get to the arrival. Eventually here in the middle, we will insert the approach. So we have 5 passengers on board. We estimated the estimated burn. We're gonna burn 592 kilograms of, actually 1,152 kilograms of fuel, 1 ton of fuel. 592 is what we are going to use. The rest is reserve, taxing, and so on. We have 125 kilograms of baggage. The total payload is 522 kilograms. If you want to know pounds, just multiply by 2. It's 1,000 pounds. This is takeoff weight and so on. We're going to fly at 45,000 feet. The route is 528 nautical miles. This is the wind. And then we are going to produce a document now. This is the official document of the flight. Repeats the same information. Every single number here has a meaning, weights and so on, which I know some I don't. This is, for example, the fuel. contingency fuel 15 minutes, alternate airport. In case we cannot land anymore in Casablanca, they will give us a second airport, and this is other reserves. So we're gonna have 1,152 kilograms of fuel on board. You can see here all these are other information. This is the actual route. This is the time when we are going to take off, 7 a.m. Out and off is actually takeoff. We're gonna move at 7, take off at 7:20. We should arrive there at 8:38, and 8:46 we arrive at the gate. And this is the various times and weight, consumption of fuel burn, and so on. And this is every one of these is a waypoint, and it tells us how much fuel we should have and what time we should be there and things like that. So after this document, this is the wind information. You can see after this long document, which I'm really still trying to learn. This is really, true pilot information. Commercial pilot is definitely able to see this easily. Then you sign the document. I probably already passed it, actually, I think. Let me see. Yeah, the signature space, I must have passed it. Let's see. There should be a signature page. Okay, did I miss it? There should be a signature page, but it usually is at the beginning. But I'm not sure why there is no, because it shows. I'm sorry, I'm going a little fast here. Just don't want to waste anybody's time. It's interesting. It didn't. Sorry, just going up. There it is. So this is the dispatcher, is the one that prepares, basically gives me the okay to fly, gives me the okay, and the pilot in command, PIC, pilot in command, and with my name, right? And you have to sign here. So this is how a true document looks like. And we're gonna import this one into Navigraph, so we have a copy here. When we're going to slew, go faster once we take off, so we don't have to wait that the aircraft spends 1.5 hours. We're gonna have a quick flight like we did last time. So now we go back to our aircraft. And first thing we need to do is make sure that we don't have light. Okay, the GPU, the ground power unit, will give us the power to start the aircraft. Chocks, pillow covers and so on, they're already removed. Let's open also the cargo doors as well, and then we will load the route. So now let's turn on the switch before I forget of the entertainment, the batteries. Okay, and let's turn on the light.
Oral warning okay.
Okay, and we are going to switch here. This is now we're using the batteries in the aircraft. This is basically using the battery of the unit outside the aircraft. Let me show you what it means. This guy here It's like a generator. It provides temporary power to the aircraft so that the aircraft can start. And then it's disconnected once the engine starts running, because at that point the engines produce the electricity for the aircraft. Okay, so we have that in order. I'm going to turn them on before I forget. These are the generators. I'm sorry, these are the generators. This is the bleed air. So what happens is when the air comes into the engine, is compressed, then this air is used for different things. One is to warm up the aircraft. The other one is to create enough pressure inside the aircraft, to create enough pressure inside the aircraft so that you can breathe. Because remember, if you go to 40,000 feet, there is very little oxygen. So this one causes to create the pressure that you are like at sea level, or maybe at 1,000 feet, but not 40,000 feet. So what happened is it's also dangerous not to have pressure, right?
System test. Okay.
Because what happened, there was I don't know if you heard, there was an accident where part of an engine hit one of the windows. The window broke. Immediately the pressure inside the aircraft is much bigger than the one outside. So everything gets sucked out because there is more pressure inside the aircraft. One person got sucked out, but still, there was saved. The body was saved by the seatbelt, but the person eventually they couldn't save the person. The person died. So, but that's what happened. So when you are at 35,000 feet, you have pressure like you are on the ground, but outside is very little pressure. You wouldn't be able to breathe, right? That's why when you go on the Everest at 30,000 feet, you need the oxygen, right? So, but we have oxygen created by the engine compressing the air. So let's continue. These are the pumps for the engines. We haven't started the engines yet, as you know. This is because we're gonna fly at 40,000 feet. It's gonna be very cold, so I'm gonna turn on the heating of the windshield and general heating as well for the aircraft. And in the meantime, Madeira should be quite warm, but we need to turn on the heating, because eventually, first of all, the passengers are very sensitive about the heating. You know, have you ever been on a flight where it's extremely cold? I mean, I was on a flight extremely cold. You say, come on, Jesus, I was suffering. So let's take a look at what's the temperature inside the aircraft. Is 14 degrees, so I think we need to wait a little bit before calling the passengers. I'm actually gonna speed up the heating part. I don't know why is that so cold. It's not even winter there, but so this is fine. And at this point we are going to start working on the checklist. So let's go. This is the same as I showed you in the other aircraft, the flight management system, FMS. Much easier, smaller aircraft, of course, and then you can see it's very modern compared to the 737, where you really don't have, you have to enter data in there, right? So that's a difficult part. So let's start with the voice recording test. These aircraft have to have a voice recorder, and they have to have also, they have to have the two black boxes. One records the voice in the cockpit, and the other one records the instrument. So if something happened, the NTSC, National Transportation Anti-Safety, NTSC.
Pause system test.
Maybe one of you guys can check. National Transportation Safety Board and NTSB Safety Board are the ones that investigate accidents. So tolls is very important. This is terrain, awareness warning system. When you are too close to the terrain, it starts warning you, hey, you're too close, be careful. Particularly when you fly in an area where you don't see anything, you're flying in the middle of very low clouds. And this is the traffic. Also warns you if you are in on a
Traffic system test
on a
passed.
route a route where there is potential of hitting another aircraft, right? So any questions so far? National Transportation Safety Board, yes, that's good. So they are they are the ones that are called to investigate all these accidents. So we need to set the temperature to the aircraft, because based on this temperature, the air has a certain level of density. If it's warmer, is I believe less dense than when it's colder, right? So the particles are more expanded. So the aircraft has more of a hard time flying when it's warm than cold, I believe. I have to go back and check. So anyway, this one tells the aircraft, hey, this is the temperature outside. So based on this and the weight of the aircraft and different other things, they calculate at what speed you can take off, what will be your flaps, and what other condition the aircraft must be. So we're gonna set what they tell us, 15, early in the morning, so I'm not surprised it's 15. We're gonna send the data to the aircraft computer. Data has been accepted. Now we look at the flight plan, and we are going to import the flight plan from SimBrief. So this is the route, LPMA GMM. This is the one where we leave at 7 UTC, 6 o'clock import. Okay, we imported the route, and now we are going to import the weights. The weights, because the computer needs to calculate the weights. So here we can see the departure LPMA. This is the departure route that brings us outside the airport area. Then we're going to climb to 4,000 feet. They will give us more information afterwards. Then this is also part of the departure procedure, and eventually they will tell us the feet. This is the route itself. Nipri, Ibliv, Nisba. Let's see here if it's the same. Nipri, you can see here. Nipri, so we said we're gonna do the Degwe, then Digan, then we go Nipri, then Ibliv, then Nisba, and so on, right? So is actually the route that is in the computer is the one that we have agreed. The sound that you're hearing is the batteries. So at this point, this one we can remove. We don't have to do anything. This is the arrival, and this, and eventually we will have to see now. I don't think that is the approach. So we have the departure. These are I just clicked the procedures right here, procedures. The departure, the arrival, and now we need the approach. So the approach is RW35R is what we're looking for. Let me check on Navigraph. how it looks. So we are landing 35R. We have these approaches. I want to see which ones are available. So obviously we want to pick an ILS. So I would say we pick this one and then goes in. This is not an ILS. Let me see this ILS, how it's gonna look like. Yes. But then we don't have this connection here. Let me see this one. Yes, I think that's part of the approach. So we're going to use the ILS Z runway 35R DevNo. So you can see this is the arrival and this is the approach procedure. We're going to catch the ILS somewhere here. We will see the maps and then we can land on the runway 35R, which is that one. So let's this one and this. So this one is called DevNo. Okay. So when you look at the procedure again, the approach 35R. So they have the Y. I choose the Z. So I'm gonna change and see if the Y makes sense. Select. They have the Y. The Y is fine. I can live with that. So we can use the Y. That's it. Okay, so we can use the Y, and that Y is called the DevNo. 35R DevNo. Okay, and we're gonna load this. Okay. All right. So now we have all the three procedures. So we obviously don't activate the approach yet. We're not there yet, right? So we did the approach menu. We're almost there. So the procedure is done. It looks like we're gonna catch the ILS at 3,600 feet altitude. FMS is good. Aircraft loading. Let's see what type of passenger we have. We said we have 5 passengers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with the pilot. And I guess there is a co-pilot too. Okay, give me 4. And then I have the baggage and so on. Okay, fuel. Sink the fuel 2,490. You remember is about 1,200 kilograms. That's what it is. So we accept. The weather in Madeira is the wind is not too windy. It's 22 degrees. Barometric pressure very important to enter this. 1019. We're going to do that. Actually, why don't we do it now? 1019. 1013. Sorry, I'm trying to. It's easier when you sit inside the aircraft. 1019. 9. Okay. They're probably gonna tell us again. 1019. Jesus, this thing, it doesn't move. Okay. 1019. 14 is here, right? 1019. There is a third one, which is the redundancy. There is a lot of redundancy on the aircraft. If one instrument doesn't work, then you have a second one and the third one. So it's not that one doesn't work, then the whole aircraft falls apart. So it doesn't work that way. That's why you have doubles. Everything is double, just in case. 1019. Okay, let's see if we have passengers, because if we don't have passengers, we need to, yeah, we do have passengers. We don't have many passengers, How come? Yeah, no, we have what they told us. Okay, we have passengers. We don't have a co-pilot. And we're gonna change this one now. First of all, let's see. Since we already have passengers, it's probably cold, so they're not happy. I think at this point we will close the doors and hopefully it warms up. The door, that one is closed. Was already closed actually. Okay, and we can start the aircraft at this point. So let's start the first engine. I wanted to show you maybe something here. Let's see, there is wanted to show you GPU operation. No, okay. All right, so let's start the engine. For engine to the right. Okay, so the engine is firing up well. By the way, the weight balance is good. We go back to this and we are going to disconnect the GPU. We don't need the GPU anymore. And we go back to start the second engine. Passengers are suffering. Okay. We shouldn't hear anymore the sound. That is good. So here it gives me barometric difference. 1019. I believe that is 1019. So usually the problem is always the one at the top because sometimes it's just one click. Let's see if one more click. Okay, error went away. So this is our error. So now what is in white is not an error, it's just information. In yellow is a warning, and then in red is critical, right? So yellow means, okay, do that, right? So, and of course, yes, we need to turn on the navigation, strobe, inspection. We're gonna fly during the day, so we need to illuminate the panel. This one is for the passenger that are suffering. This is the reason why there was the error, the emergency light. And we're gonna use the taxi light. So now we go back and we need to do the checklist after start. So the GPU batteries, we're just gonna do the test of the batteries. This one, they have to show that they will produce at least 23.5, which is good. That is good, and we can close. Then we just have to test a couple of things here. This is for fire. You can see up here on the right. More fire. Then the stall, which is dangerous. So many aircraft crashed because of stalling. Stalling is when the aircraft doesn't have enough speed and the angle of the aircraft is too high that basically doesn't fly anymore, it goes down. right? So let's put the seat belts on. Let's look at what the passengers are saying. I'm sure they are complaining. These two guys, I don't know, we don't have any, let's give them some coffee. And the temperature is 19, so it's getting better, so welcome them. In the meantime, it's a little light, so what we're going to do, we're going to bring the time back a little bit. We say we're going to start, okay. All right, so we have, sorry, let me go back 1 second. Okay, the after start checklist. So we tested the batteries, we did all the tests. This is the LFE, is the pressurization of the cabin, which is fine. For example, here you see on the right side LFE means that the pressure in the cabin is equal to us being at 642 feet above the ground. And so you can imagine the aircraft is going to be at 40,000 feet, and here the feeling inside the aircraft would be maybe 2,000 feet or 1,000 feet, right? So that's the pressurization. We have oxygen, enough oxygen. Of course, we need to prepare the aircraft in terms of flaps. You can see we're going to move the flaps down 1 level. You can see the flaps are down. We need the flaps because the flaps will increase the surface of the wings, and that will help to lift the aircraft once we reach a certain speed. And we need the pitch. The pitch is the pitch is basically one part of the back side of the wings, the elevator, as a matter of fact, that will maintain the aircraft at a certain angle once we take off. Sorry, I'm reading the text. What is that? I don't know which engine of those. Okay, so I can tell you that they are giving us a different pitch. The problem is that if I enter the pitch that the FMS tells me is just too steep. So I usually keep it at around 11. For some reason, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but that's probably the reason why that is happening. So let's go down the list here. I think we looked at everything. No, okay, sorry, guys. Alright, so transponder is the one for ground. We have TCAS is set, altimeter is set. Trims is done. The flight controls work. I mean, I have the physical ones. The ice protection is on. External lights are fine. We're gonna do this before takeoff. So at this point, we're gonna change the secondary flight display to the maps. Let's do it a little bit closer. You can see our route. And this one we will need to look at the charts. Okay, so this is the chart, and we are going to fly from runway 05, right? So we're gonna fly from here up 05, actually it's here, right? So We're gonna go here, go to the end of the runway, turn around, and then we're gonna take off from there. This aircraft, the yaw damper is the one that controls the yaw of the aircraft. Is actually, it's a part of the autopilot, and is this part here at the back, and it helps regulate how the aircraft moves because of the wind. So it's this one, this part here. Actually, I think is the one that controls this part. And so what happened is the aircraft, when you try to go in a direction, let's say you are going north, 0 degrees, or 360 degrees, you go north, but you have winds coming from the east, then if you don't correct the position of your aircraft will be pushed east. So you're going north, but you'll be pushed east, right? So you're gonna move sideways while going straight. So what the aircraft, what the yaw damper does, it basically helps turning the aircraft a little bit in the direction of the wind, so that keeps the position correct. So the aircraft, as a matter of fact, it doesn't always fly straight. You think it flies straight, it actually flies at an angle in order to go straight. Otherwise, it will be pushed to the side. And I can show you during the flight what happens. I'm going to fly IFR, and I have the flight plan. Yes, I use Navigraph to pre-plan and then SimBrief to file the route, and then I download it into the FMS. So it's a long flight. We're going to slew part of the flight because otherwise it's going to be like 2 hours flight. And yes, we're going to do also an ILS landing. So after takeoff, when we are over 500-600 feet, I'm going to set the autopilot. I already have at that point set the altitude, target altitude, at least the first one. And then I'm going to use the flight level change to reach that. And then eventually, once it's at cruising altitude, I'm going to use the slew to move forward faster. So I think at this point we are all good. We just have to do the taxiing. So what we need to do now is we need to call air traffic control and ask for IFR clearance.
Madeira Tower, E55P November 65916 IFR to Mohammed V. Ready to copy.
E55P November 65916 is cleared to Mohammed V Airport via the Digu 1 Echo departure, runway 05. Climb via SID maintain 5,000, expect flight level 45010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 119.55, squawk 1622.
Okay.
Cleared to Mohammed V. Via the Digu 1 Echo departure, runway 05. Climb via SID maintain 5,000, expect flight level 45010
My
minutes
graphic
after
card
departure. Departure frequency is 119.55. Squawk
is a
1622.
5080.
E55P November 65916.
The graphic card is a 58. It wouldn't be able to handle the flight simulator without a graphic card like this. The other problem is that the flight simulator also requires a stronger CPU as well.
E55P November 65916 with Quebec. Ready to taxi. IFR.
E55P November 65916. Taxi 2 and hold short of runway 05 via taxiway, Alpha
I
Charlie.
see.
Contact tower on 124.66.
So I have flown the 737 Max,
Taxiing. Hold short runway 05 using taxiway
but I
Alpha
use
Charlie.
the standard
E55P916.
that the flight simulator provides. I just bought, I invested $80 and bought the 737-800 from a good developer. EMDG developer, and they're actually pretty good. So they have all deliveries and so on. They have the DHL as well, the cargo freighter, different settings of the aircraft. But I never flown yet a 747. I want to do it gradually because the aircraft that is provided from the standard Flight Simulator 2024 is not extremely difficult. This level of the one I just bought, it's much more difficult. You have to follow the procedure and so on. So it's very complex, and that's the interesting part of it. And I think from there I can probably go higher, because the 747 has older technology, probably even more complex than the 737, particularly when you use the FMS. And then of course we have the Airbus, which is a different story. So now we have IFR clearance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to virtual reality so we can see better, and so you guys see the change. Just give me 1 second. I need to start the virtual desktop. And I won't be able to see the text for a bit. And if you are curious, actually using the MetaQuest 3, that is actually very good. Excellent. It's really impressive when you wear the MetaQuest 3. It's like you're really sitting inside the aircraft. You have this feeling of height, and it's really amazing. I don't know how they did this, but I can imagine in 10 years what type of technology they will have. So powerful. So give me 1 second. I have okay. Alright, so here. Now I have to position my seat correctly because I'm looking down. Okay. Okay. 47 frames per second. I think I can remove this. I'm going to oh wow, what happened here? Why is this so weird? I'm gonna bring back the time a little bit. I see it's already light. Took us a little bit to do this. Okay. So I'm gonna remove this. Hopefully that thing doesn't come out as big as before. Oh, shoot, what happened here? Let me see if I can make it. Oh, okay, good. Okay, so we have an IFR, and I'm not sure why. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't see well for some reason. Okay. So we're gonna go back, and then we have to go left. Okay, so we're gonna remove the parking brake. Let me set closer. Passengers. Okay, let's clean the cabin. Apparently it's a mess. Let's give them some information. 24 degrees. You can lower this a little bit. And this one, I think it's enough, 24 degrees. The taxi lights are on. Okay, we can move. For some reason my headset is a little bit foggy. Not sure why. It's foggy. Let me turn off. Okay, light here. Okay, so that is runway 05. Okay, so what we need to do, we also need to set the target altitude, 5,000 feet. We are going to use flight level change and nav. We don't set up the autopilot yet, so we have to request a COF clearance.
Madeira Tower, E55P November 65916 at runway 05. Ready for departure. IFR to Mohammed V.
So the passengers are happy.
55 P November 65916. QNH 101 tree. Clear for takeoff, runway 05.
1013.
Runway 05. E55P November 65916.
One zero one three. One zero one. Why am I having such a hard time to put this one on 3? Alright. Let me turn off this microphone, otherwise you can hear me. You hear me double. I think it's better now. Okay, 1013. Okay, we don't have any error. The bleed one you can see here is not an error. It's just information. So we have clearance for taking off to take off. So we need to go on the runway and turn around. And actually, you know what? We can take off from here because we have enough space to take off. And the direction is this one, otherwise I have to turn back. So let's take off from here. I think we have enough runway. We'll find out soon. landing gear up, flaps up, in case this is when you're outside.
Center on 119.55. Good day.
Going to 119.55. E55P916.
Autopilot on.
Lisbon Center. E55P November 65916 is at 2,900 climbing 5,000.
And the
E55P
clouds.
November 65916. Lisbon Center, QNH 101 Radar contact. Continue to MA 647. E55P 916. Climb and maintain flight level 450.
Okay. Flight level
Climb
450.
and maintain flight level 450. E55P
Let's use
916.
flight level change again. We're overspeeding soon, so I have to slow down. Okay, we can accelerate now. So we put this one on climb. 450, that's a lot. I'm gonna ask for altitude decrease, 5,000 feet to decrease. 40,000 should be enough.
Lisbon Center, E55P 916. Request flight level 400.
E55P 916. Climb and maintain flight level 400.
Climb and maintain flight level 400. E55P 916.
Okay, I took off in a hurry. One thing I forgot to do is to put this on the lights. That wasn't taxi light. Anyway, now I have to remove the lights. We don't need the lights anymore. Once we get to usually is 18,000 feet altitude in the US, but in Europe they have different rules. Then we're going to use the standard barometric pressure. And the reason is that if two aircrafts leave from different countries, they may have a different air pressure, depending on the altitude. Let's say one leaves from South Africa, Johannesburg will be at 4,000 feet, but if you leave from Milano, you leave at 500 feet. What happens is if they keep that level of calculation inside the aircraft, they may end up having issues. So over a certain altitude, 18,000 feet, then every aircraft will measure the air pressure the same way. That's why now we are 18,000 feet, so we put it into standard. So I'm going to click here and you will see the barometer changes to standard. So all the aircraft now measure the altitude the same way, so that when the control tower tells you, the air traffic control tells you, okay, fly at 22,000 feet, and you know that the other aircraft will probably be told, if coming towards you, to fly at 25,000 feet, and you are both calculating the altitude the same way, right? So the way you calculate the altitude. So those are interesting clouds. So what I want to do is look at the weather now. This is the weather radar, and the weather, it looks fine. I mean, we have some clouds, but it's scattered clouds. There seems to be some storm around. Oh no, that's the island actually. So yes. So once we get to 40,000 feet, I'm gonna slew the aircraft towards arrival. And let's go to the checklist. So at this point we can remove the seatbelt. This guy seems to be happy. Let's tell them the cruising information while we serve them coffee and cake. Clean. 23.5 is a good. It's a good temperature. They're very sensitive, you know. So we have an average of 80%, which means it's good. If we look in the back, there is no riots or anything. Oh, that looks good. Let's put this one on the map now. So we can see our route. We are still in the departure phase, and then here it's gonna be the route, and then we do the arrival. So once we are about here, we should be about 40,000 feet here. Then we slew the aircraft towards the arrival. So everything is, and I cannot see text because I have the goggles on, and I only see like in the aircraft. So I don't see, there's no way I can see the text in case you're texting something. So we're still climbing, and you know, here you can see to the next waypoint, Digan is 44.2 nautical miles. This is the direction, basically. The direction is our course, while we are pointing to 47 degrees. And let's see if the aircraft is flying straight now. I'm talking about, slew. So I have to navigate my keyboard blind. So there is no, it's flying straight, so that means there is no wind affecting us. Otherwise you will see the aircraft flying at an angle. So we'll probably see that when we are lower. Let's see how the aircraft looks like in the air. You can see there is a red light. The red light is always indicating the left wing, and the right light, the green light is the right wing. So when you see an aircraft coming towards you, you don't see aircraft when you see the light, then you know if it's coming towards you or not. Or if you see the lights from the ground, then you know which direction the aircraft is going. Okay, so let's see, let's look at the checklist. I should have done the checklist before, but I thought did not want you guys to get bored. But it's important to do the checklist. There have been accidents where they forgot something, right? So that's why they have a checklist. Because there have been in the past too many accidents where people tend to forget, pilots tend to forget something, and then they crash, or they go into stall situation. So the gear is up, the flaps are 0, the thrust is CON climb, it's there. Auto throttle is not required. Not sure what. It's a caution error. But I don't know the error. I should look into the manual. Cabin Delta P failed. I know I had it in the past, but then it went away. So I'm gonna leave it there, but make it silent. I think this one went out. Okay. And this one, we're open to start. Cabin Delta pressure field. It's everything of the aircraft looks good. We can go through if we need to. So the status is good. ECS, all green. Electrical, all good. Fuel, plenty of fuel for our trip. Ice protection, no problem. And the rest is fine. So we are fine. And in fact that error disappeared. So there may have been something that triggered it. We have a sunrise. Where's the sun coming from actually? Wait a minute, let me check. So we are going east. So the sun is supposed to be in front of us, right? No, actually we're going north. So we are going northeast. So the sun is in that direction. You can see the sun coming up from the clouds. So let's go back to the, this is the weather, and this is the map. So your damper is on, yes. Fasten seat belts, not necessary anymore. The lights are off. The weather is on. Next will be the descent. And the descent, we don't need it anymore, so we can remove for the moment. So this is the TCAS, this little square here. This one tells us if there is any conflict with other aircrafts, and it tells us whether we should go up or down to avoid a collision with the other aircraft. So this is our FMS. This is our route. You can see the route is broken. So the aircraft, because it's turning. So the aircraft is going to stay in this direction until this line is going to meet with this line, and then it's going to turn right and stay on course. So everything is done automatically by the autopilot at this point. The autopilot also is maintaining the altitude of 40,000 feet, and it's just following the route. All I need to do is watch the speed. We can't go over. If we go on this white and red line, we could overspeed, and that can create a structural damage to the aircraft, and aircraft can break in the air in pieces. We don't want that, right? So this tells us the wind direction. So the wind is 5 knots at 273 degrees. And the heading, we're not using the heading. The heading, if we want to control the direction of the aircraft manually. Well, the autopilot, we set the heading, the autopilot will follow the heading. But now we are following the route and not the heading. So this is the attitude indicator. Let's check one thing. Okay, so this is the flight director, and this one tells us the angle, and this one tells us the pitch, and this one gives us an idea of the horizon, right? So this is why this is the main screen. There is a specific name, MFD, and with this one you can fly. Without this one you're gonna have a problem. So the redundancy would be the co-pilot screen, then you would have to move to the right, or in worst case scenario then you use this one. As you can see, this is basically the copy of this, just very much more simple, of course, but this one tells you everything. This one tells you the pressure, but you know, the speed, tells you the altitude, tells you the magnetic compass down here. It tells you the attitude, whether you're going the pitch or whether you're rolling to the right or to the left. So this is very important in case this one doesn't work. You know, you could have an electronic failure or something like that. So we are now at 40,000 feet, and I think it's time to slew the aircraft, so you don't have to stay for an hour here, in the direction of the arrival, and then we have to catch the there it is. So I'm gonna remove my goggles for the moment, and I have to do it on the screen. Okay, I'm back on the screen, and now which one is that now? Shift Z, I think, is the if I push the wrong one, is I'm gonna turn off the aircraft, and that's what it did last time. I think it's Shift Z. So the aircraft, we're gonna see the aircraft from outside, right? And now I need a map. I'm gonna use the Navigraph map to show where I am. Basically, I'm using this one, and then I'm just gonna follow this during I have to put the map on the other side, the second screen, and now I think is what it is. See, now it's going like 1,000 miles an hour or something like that.
E55 P9er 16 contact Casablanca Center on 125.1. Good day.
Let's see what they want.
125.1, E55 P916. Casablanca Center, E55 P November 65916, flight level 400.
E55 P November 65916, Casablanca Center, radar contact, continue to Iblis.
Continue. We need to move to the right. I think I can change that. I can just go like this and like this. This is slewing. I just need to make sure I don't get too close because I'm at 40,000 feet and then I have to descend as well, right? So let me see how much time do I have to descend. Okay, let me go back into the aircraft. Okay, it's just going back to the route again. I just need to see the flight plan. Here we already should be at 36,000 feet. So let me start decreasing to 35,000 feet. Let's do 30,000 feet. While the aircraft is going back to this route. 30,000 feet. I need to reduce the throttle. Otherwise we're going to overspeed, and I'm going to adjust the descent to 2,000 feet per minute. 2,000 feet per minute. And then we go back into, we're going to do again the
E55P.
Climb and maintain flight level 400. E55P 9016.
I need to ask a decrease of altitude by 10,000 feet. If I don't do this, it's going to keep on telling me to go. We're going to give up.
Request flight level tree 00.
Flight level tree 00.
Okay.
Descend and maintain flight level tree 00. E55P 9016.
So I see Wild Man, but I don't know your name. What is your name? Matthias friend. Yeah, the MetaQuest 3, first of all, is very, very nice. But I know there are others which are much, much better. I mean, the technology is definitely improving dramatically, right? So the problem is that I wear glasses, so I have to put lenses in there. But they also provide lenses too, which is good. But yes, so I see you use iVow, the plugin. So I was looking at, say, intentions. The problem, I'm not comfortable with the terminology yet. Although when I hear, it seems to be quite natural. So, but eventually I will get to use probably say intentions.
Cleared Ravo 1 Alpha arrival. Descend and maintain 3600 expect ILS Zulu runway tree 5. Right approach via Devno transition.
So let's see where we're supposed to be at 36,000
Cleared Ravo
feet.
1 Alpha arrival. Descend and maintain 3600 expect ILS Zulu runway tree 5. Right approach via Devno transition. E55P 9016.
It's going to be at 30,000 feet, and then I'm going to use the vertical track. So this is where we are right now. This is, we got to here, and then we did this one in like 1 minute. This is about 300, 400 miles. So it's back on track. And this is where the arrival starts, but the descent already started. So that's why I had to stop and follow the descent. You know, you can't go from 40,000 feet to 3,000 feet in 1 minute, right? So passengers will be going crazy and the aircraft will be destroyed. So I just want to get to 30,000. I'm gonna put the goggles on. And I wonder, wild man, if the Meta Quest 4 will eventually come out. It must be amazing. I mean, the Quest 3 is pretty good. It's very good. So let's see while we wait. I want to see what the passengers are doing. Look, 96%. They are happy. They are getting coffee. And they're getting, we tell them the cruise temperature is good, so it's good. So it's gonna eventually level off, bring the speed back. And then I'm gonna set the vertical track. So if I look at the route, and then we can look at the charts afterwards. You just have to watch the speed. If I look at the route, I want to see, so the approach. So it looks like the ILS, we can catch the ILS at 3,600 feet. The GMMN, okay, let's go back. So I'm going to now set the altitude to 3,600 feet. The target altitude. Increase the throttle. 3,600. And then we go back to the view afterwards. So now what happens is I'm going to tell the aircraft when they find the vertical track signal, which follows the route, then the aircraft will start descending by itself. So, and this is done using the VNAV here. So you see the V here, now it's looking for the path. So the path is going to be code. I'm watching the speed, so just to make sure. So when it gets to, so everything in green will be caught by the vertical track, but in white not.
E55B916. Please expedite your descent 3,600.
Yeah, I'm already at 30,000. Okay, he wants me to go to 3,600. It's too early. So here, I'm gonna also enter it to be caught by the vertical track. So it's done automatically, because if it's in white, the vertical track is not gonna work. So I want to make sure the aircraft decreases altitude gradually.
E55P916. Descend and maintain flight level 290.
Okay.
Descend and maintain flight level 290.
So this is the problem. This is the problem with the air traffic control of the regular simulator. They just told me to go to 3,600 feet, which is actually the altitude that I need to catch the ILS, but it's too early. We are still in the ocean, right? So it's definitely too early. So we still have a lot to go, right? We are here. We still have all this part to do. So, and now it tells me to go up to 29,000 feet. I mean, it's like, what's wrong with this? Okay, you heard vertical track? It's now catching the vertical track. So when this mark goes down here, the aircraft will start decreasing, and then will continue to follow until we get to the approach and the ILS. So at this point, it's going to do everything by itself. I can put MetaQuest 3 on. Okay, so at least we can start looking outside as well. Just have to set it up. Turn it off and on again. Speed, I see. Just so. Okay. Wow, connect the PC.
E55P916. Descend and maintain 15,000.
Descend and maintain 15,000.
Virtual
E55P916.
desktop is unreachable. Okay, I'll do it again. To restart the virtual desktop. Hopefully I don't have to do it on the regular screen. Okay, now it's connected. Took a while to turn on. There is a lot of latency. Okay. I need a better CPU. Okay, so we are back in the aircraft. I'm not sure if we're not straight yet. Okay, maybe a little bit back. No. Right. Okay. Forward a little bit. Sorry. Try to get comfortable. Okay, so we are in. Turn off the microphone. We are on a descent. We are now at 23,000 feet. Our next target is 12,000 feet. Speed is good. Let's check. Let's check the route. In the meantime, we need to sorry. I need the checklist.
High speed. High speed.
Yeah,
High speed.
I knew it was going to
High
happen.
speed. High speed. High speed.
You don't want to go into high speed for too long. Structural damage, it's possible. So this is pressurization is good so far. Fasten seatbelt is a little early. They don't like that. So at this point, why don't we get the charts? We need to change to GMMN. GMMN. Enter. Right, so we are at arrival, sync. We are now in the arrival map. You can see here. So maximum speed 220, max 13,000, HA 6,000. So 6,000 would be the minimum altitude, and then we will get into the approach. So far we are following the vertical track, so it's good. Just want to see the one below here. That is good. And then here we have a minimum of 4,000, 3,800. That is the airport actually. So you can see here at 4,000, then eventually 13, 3,300 are the minimums. So we're gonna be at 3,600. So I think what we do, we'll take a look at the approach map. So we have we're gonna have runway 35R. ILS Y, I think. Is that the ILS Y? Yes, ILS Y 35R. Let me see what else they have. ILS Y runway 35R. Okay, we can already see the aircraft on the map. That so the aircraft is going to go down here, is doing the arrival, and then he's going to catch the approach, and then this will be the landing, right? So we will see the aircraft arriving at this point. So it's going to go here, it's going to go down, it's going to be like half curve, go to the east, and then the ILS. So the ILS is going to be caught at 3,600 feet.
55 P9er 16.
SLK VAR.
10,000.
No. The guy is drunk. I'm not going to do that. Oh yeah, 10,000? Okay. I thought it was 1,000. Yeah, 10,000 is fine, yeah. We're going to be at 12,000 and eventually 10,000. So anyway, the ILS is going to be caught at 3,600 feet, 3,600 feet, and SLK VR. So let me see, SLK, you can see here, 3,600 feet. F535R. Yes, so sorry, I'm just looking at the map. Okay. You can see the aircraft is down here, and if we look at the route, you'll see at one point it's going to turn east, then it's going to go around, see, so it's going to go down here, then it's going to go around, and eventually we should be able to catch the glide scope, the localizer, the glide scope, and then we start the ILS. So far so good. Let's see here.
Mohammed V approach on 119er.9. Good day.
119er.9. E55P9er16.
Tuning to the
Mohammed V
approach.
E55P November 659er16 is passing 11,100, descending 10,000.
E55P November 659er16. Mohammed V approach. QNH 101 tree. Radar contact. Continue to depth now.
Let's give them the last coffee and cake, clean the cabin, seat belt.
E55P 9er16 contact Casablanca Center on 125.1. Good day.
1013,
Going to 125.1.
1013,
E55P 9er16.
1013, it's good.
Casablanca Center. E55P November 659er16. 9,900.
E55P November 659er16.
Approach.
Casablanca Center. QNH 101
External
tree.
lights.
Radar contact. Continue to Sierra Lima Kilo.
Passengers advise.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Actually, descending, landing.
descending.
Speed altimeter, windshield is fine before landing. Okay, we're gonna go here. So,
Flight director.
yes, so we have the glide scope in sight. We're gonna do some speed brakes now. We need to slow down the aircraft. The speed brakes are on. Yeah, you can see that.
Flight director.
Speed brakes on. So we're gonna put the approach on. We can see the glide scope here, so we should be able to catch it soon. Not yet. I think we still have to.
E55P 9er16 contact. Mohammed V approach on 119er.9. Good day.
Let's call the approach.
119er.9 for E55P 9er16.
So I reduced the speed to 138 knots because we're gonna do some turns, right? So we can't do the turns at high speed. This is reasonable. So in the meantime, we need to set for arrival. So we do the landing information, the weather. 1015, 21, 31, the runway. It's a long runway. Landing, it's full flaps. We need to land at 106 knots. We accept. Okay. 106 knots has to be the landing. So I see that we are at 8,000 feet and the aircraft didn't decrease, so we need to go down. I'm not sure why. Maybe because I put the approach too early. Passengers are fine. We need to be at 3,000. Okay, that looks good. Be at 3,000 feet. Okay, go to the. It's good. Reduce the speed again. speed brakes. They're on. Sometimes they don't go on.
Vertical track.
Yes. Okay, let's tune to the approach.
Mohammed V approach. E55P November 65916 is at 5,700 climbing 10,000.
E55P November 65916. Mohammed V approach. QNH 101 tree. Radar contact. Continue to CI 35R. E55P 9er16. Contact Mohammed V Tower on 118.5 when inbound on the approach.
You can see it's a very dry land, desert.
55P 9er16. Mohammed V Tower. E55P November 65916.
This is
16
my
miles south. Inbound ILS Zulu runway tree 5 right approach.
E55P November 65916. Mohammed V Tower. QNH 101 tree. Cleared ILS Zulu runway tree 5 right approach.
No.
Cleared ILS Zulu runway tree 5 right approach. E55P 9er16.
I'm already set for Y. It's trying to change to. Doesn't give me the option to change the approach, and I have to stay on the same. It's too late. Okay, so yaw damper off. Landing gear. Let's put the flaps first.
High speed. High speed.
Yeah.
High speed. High speed.
It's too early for the flaps. I have to slow down the aircraft. $154 flaps. Slow down the aircraft. Yeah, doesn't slow down enough. Flaps level 2. Flaps. Landing gear down. It's now on a ILS approach. Seven miles to the runway. You can see the runway already in the horizon over
Trim.
there.
Trim. 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 Trim.
Yeah, you can see the type of buildings they have here, right? So it's typical desert style, low building, wide. There's a lot of space. So the aircraft is set. Has the landing gear out. Lights are on. $103 flaps. Level 3 and full flaps. Now we watch the speed 106. Eventually we'll remove the autopilot. And Let me see. Looks like the aircraft is.
D55P 916, wind 2715.
You see, the aircraft is not straight towards the runway. It's pointing a little bit to the left because there is winds coming from the left. Not too much, but it's pointing a little bit, and that's how they go straight. So speed is too low. We don't want to go into a stall, particularly at this low altitude. We have no way to recover. Okay. Speed is good. Speed is good. After landing. So this is the runway 35R. So we are pointing 350 degrees. That's why it's called 35. And R means right because there is one on the left. You can see the one on the left. So L is left, R is right. Speed is good. Seems to be a lot of farms around here. Everything looks like burned. Okay, speed is good.
500.
Approaching minimums.
400. 300. 200.
Autopilot off. Fly manual now.
100. 'Stall. Flight director. Stall.
Good landing. They're happy. So that's good.
D55P 916, exit runway when able.
Flaps up. Light. Taxi.
D55P 916, contact ground on 130.6.
130.6 for E55P 916.
Okay. I want to go to gates. I always have a hard time
Mohammed V
finding the
ground.
gates.
E55P November 65916. Taxi to the gate.
D55P November 65916, taxi to gate 67 using taxiway Alpha.
Taxiing to gate 67 via taxiway Alpha. E55P 916.
Okay, 67. Taxiway Alpha. Check. This is not the one. So this is the 35R. Somebody can find the 67 here. Let me see. can't see 67 anymore. So maybe it's not the right one. Okay, so chance. Maybe is parking stands and coordinates or the minimums. Report information. Okay. There's probably a map which shows I can't even find the runway Alpha. Alright, so let's park somewhere. I always have a hard time finding the parking spots. Maybe smaller airports like this one, non-important airports. 67. I wish they would mark better the. Let's see if I can go. Not sure if I can go here. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna go to the left. There's no gate. Let's go to the right. There are no gates here. Where are the gates? It's not even marked. Alright, I'm gonna find an empty spot. Are the gates on the other side by chance? Yeah. I'm gonna find an empty spot. Jesus. Are they all occupied or? It's occupied. It's occupied. Maybe it was the other side. ATR. Not, it's obviously is not an important airport, this one. Okay, I'm gonna go down here and park somewhere. I don't know where's the gates here. Where can I park? I'm gonna park here. Okay, handbrake. Turn off the engine. So we had a very good score, and then something they didn't like. The landing was fine. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Okay, we open the door and let the passengers out. Put protection on the aircraft. Let's unload instantly. There should be nobody left. And then we can close the door. Turn off the aircraft. close the door and start turning off the aircraft now. So this one here, this one off, turn off, off. This one go back to normal. Okay, this one is off, off. Turn off here. The entertainment thing off. Turn off this one. Oh, it's giving me a generator. Yeah, this one is off. Okay, the aircraft is off, and here we go. So I'm gonna move out of the So the aircraft I'm going to use is a Cessna 172. And this is, if you guys decide one day to learn how to fly, you will most likely be trained on the Cessna 172 Skyhawk. May not have the G1000 instrument, so the basic ones, but that's a very easy, simple aircraft to manage. So this is Casablanca. I'm not gonna start. I'm just gonna have the aircraft already started. I'm gonna put this one here so that we don't have to wait. You will see.
Mohammed V Tower. Cessna November 65916 ready at runway 17 left. Departing straight out.
So you can see it's a very simple aircraft. This is the G1000, and this is going to help us to fly over Casablanca. These are the lights. I would have to wear again the goggles, otherwise it's difficult to fly without goggles. But I need to wonder. Yes. Failed. But I need to move to the other. Trying to go on the other screen, but let me do something here. Cannot be. Let me go back. That's interesting. Doesn't allow me to go on the other screen. All right, so we can take off with this one, and then we'll find afterwards. Okay, shift 1. So we have the taxi. We don't need the taxi anymore. We don't need this anymore. The batteries are on, and we see Casablanca is basically behind us. So the flaps are. Is that 10 already? Yeah, 10. Flaps are 10, so that's good. If I could move the mouse to the other side, but okay. All right, so let's go to Casablanca. Now I have a co-pilot.
Stall.
Yeah,
Stall.
that's not good. Flaps up.
Stall. Stall.
I don't have the goggles on, it's more difficult. Fly with where am I going? What happened? Why am I sitting on the other side? Okay. Trim the aircraft. On the other screen, I don't know why. Why is that? I want to go to the other screen. It won't allow me to go to the other screen. Because I need to trigger the virtual reality, but I can't use the other screen. So we are going towards the sea, but visual is not great with
Cessna 9016, leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Mohammed V Tower, Cessna
Also,
November
the view is
65916. Frequency change.
how do I move to the other screen? What could I push? Shift tab? No. What do I do? If I do shift tab? No. Doesn't work. Maybe I have to turn on the goggles. Let's see. Let's see if I can do it. I don't know if it works. I don't know if it's gonna connect or not. Oh, it's connected. Okay. All right. So I managed to activate. Okay. Now I have to find where I am. Okay. I have to set. Okay. It's better. Casablanca is, I think it's there. We're at 2,000 feet. I think that's the city of Casablanca, and we should be able to see the port as well. So it's very arid area. It's completely flat. You don't see a mountain or a hill. I mean, the ocean must be beautiful, but I'm not sure how much you can do in this area. There are some tall buildings, you can see now. If you fly over Rome or Florence or New York, for example, is so realistic, the view. Obviously, Casablanca may not be an important destination for flight simulators. So they build, you can show buildings, but AI created. I don't think they reflect I mean, more or less they do, but I mean, you have to see Rome and to see the difference. But I mean, the city, in my opinion, besides maybe the beautiful sea and I don't know how much you want to visit here. You know, there is only Casablanca, there's nothing else. Desert and you know, they have a couple of museums. They have that big mosque, which is visible. So we're going towards the port now. And So we're gonna go towards the port. You can see the buildings, some parks. There's definitely some big buildings here. I saw a soccer stadium. Okay, this is the port container. There are container vessels. There are no. There are no 3D images of container vessels. You see some ships, but they're not container ships. I just saw one or two. But because this city has not been done like the most important cities, so you can see the pictures basically of the containers down there. So it's obviously a big container port, seaport. The ships I see there, they're not container ships. But if you look at the drawing of the ship, the one that are not 3D, they are container ships. It's just that they're not 3D. So that's the port. The best part of the real estate is port. You see the altitude, you're going to want to crash here. And so that's a big building that is coming out into the ocean with a semicircle or rectangular plus the semicircle. That's the mosque. It's a big mosque. You can see there, that building right in the middle of the picture is a mosque. Very important mosque. And the next one is an important beach after that point. I mean, that must be pretty for the weather and, you know, like outdoor activities. Culturally, I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure the weather will allow a lot of the outdoor activities, and of course the beaches. This is an important beach. And you can see over there in green, that is the race track. I know around here there are museum, and there is a zoo. There is a soccer stadium. It's not reproduced in 3D. I need to look at the. Okay, no, that's everything is good. You can see we're gonna fly over the soccer stadium. This looks like a racetrack. I don't know what's in the inside, but the way it's built, it looks like a racetrack. You can see the soccer stadium here. And there are a couple of other stadiums too. I mean, I guess those like almost round. Yeah, that's also another stadium. That is supposed to be an airport, but it's not built yet. I mean, at least not now. I think there is a zoo somewhere around here. But yeah, the reproduction is it's okay, but it's not there is not much definition. So this is Casablanca. That's how it looks. I mean, after all these tall buildings, we have some residential areas, and that looks deserts to me. I mean, there's a lot of space with nothing. So I'm not sure if I come here to visit. Maybe if I go to the beach, yes, but not my top destination. But yes, that's how it looks. I mean, it's not one mountain. Huh? Amazing. Not one mountain. Yeah. I'm not sure why the streets are green. Maybe those are trees. Maybe they are green because of the trees, maybe. So with all this space, you could build a lot of houses over there. There's a park. I think that's our airport. Al-Mayata Ola Taleb, I hope. I hope it's our airport. Where's the airport? I wonder if these are farms or it looks like some industries. I don't know what they produce in Morocco, to be honest with you. It's a lot of dry land, a lot of flat land. No, it's not the airport. Where is the airport? Where is the airport? We need to land somewhere. I forgot where is the airport. Maybe I should ask if they tell me. GMM? What was the GMMB? GMM. What was the airport name? Let me see further. Yeah, airport. I don't remember the name of our airport. Okay, then maybe we can try this one. I need some directions. It doesn't give me directions. So, airports. Let me see here. Oh, there it is. Found it. Found it. We found it. So it's called GMMN. GMMN. There it is. Request full stop landing.
Mohammed V Tower, Cessna November 65916 is 7 miles northeast, 2900, with Oscar to land.
Cessna November 65916, Mohammed V Tower, QNH 101 fly left base runway 17 left.
17. 17, okay. Okay, 17 left.
Fly left base runway 17 left, Cessna 9016.
Cessna 9016, wind calm, clear to land runway 17 left.
Clear to land runway 17 left, Cessna 9016.
Okay, so 17 left. Okay, let me start reducing the speed. Let's reduce the altitude. Seven left. One seven. Which one is the 17? Must be this one. Put some flaps. Full flaps. It's still high. Okay, we're gonna go down. We have a long runway, so this is the 17 left. Yeah.
500.
17 left. Full flaps. Landing light is on.
Stall. 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 Stall.
Okay. Here we
Cessna
go.
916. Exit runway when able.
Yeah.
Cessna 9016.
130.6. Cessna 9016.
Ground. Parking.
Mohammed V ground. Cessna November 65916. Taxi to parking.
Cessna November 65916. Taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha.
General aviation.
Taxiing to general aviation, parking via taxiway Alpha. Cessna 9016.
And we are back. This is must be general aviation. There's nobody waiting. Okay. I don't see. I'm gonna park here. There should be a little man, but no, I'm gonna park here. There it is. What is this guy doing? Okay. Aircraft off. There we go. Nice. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna turn this off. I don't know if you had a chance to see Casablanca, but I can guarantee you that if you visit some other cities, they look much more beautiful in the simulator. So good night, everybody. I don't know who is still awake. I see Ozzy just sent a text. Mattia probably already asleep. And good night. Good night. Buonanotte. Good night, guys. I'm gonna stop streaming, eh? Buonanotte.